Hello. The first question is faced with a change at your school, minor or major, list your three tips that you would give other colleagues. Okay, so the major change at our school has been that we have been on this improvement list due to test scores. Now, we were out last year for 30 days and because of the hurricane. So students did lose a lot of instructional time. And being on this list, improvement list, we have definitely had more meetings, district and state walkthroughs, um, a new level of lesson planning and differentiated instruction. Our lesson plans have to be really detailed. It has to have specialized designed instruction. We have to have a learning plan with all students with disabilities. So while walkthroughs happen frequently, um, feedback from the state and district has not been it's not been as much. We have got some affirmations, but nobody has really come in and said exactly what they expect to see in the classroom. So that can be frustrating. So the tips that I say that I think you should use with this change in our school is understanding that change is not out to get you. Even though it can feel overwhelming, I've realized that change often comes that they are just wanting everyone, all the teachers to improve. And it's not a punishment. Our principal reminds us often to focus on building connections with students and teaching them the best that we can teach of our ability. So keeping that in mind helps me stay grounded and positive. The second thing it would be my tip for colleagues is don't forget your values during the change process. It's easy to lose sight of why we teach. And when we're under pressure like this, when we are having a lot of walkthroughs, I remind myself that teaching is a calling and there aren't lines of people wanting to to come into education. So holding my values keeps me focused on helping my students grow rather than being frustrated about the situation. Tip three is conduct yourself in a thoughtful and caring way during stressful times. Change can create tension, but responding with kindness and professionalism can go a long way. Um, therefore, I think definitely being positive and it keeps you moving forward because in education, change is consistent. You might be changing your curriculum updates, new technology, it changes every year, I think. And then I've worked with so many different colleagues over the years. So definitely colleagues change. So in chapter five, I like where it says it points out understanding that change is inevitable allows us to approach it with resilience instead of resistance. So I think these three tips help me maintain perspective and continue to grow as an educator, even when sometimes the path forward is not really clearly defined um, by what they really, really want. So those are my three tips. Okay, number two, six types of parental involvement and how to connect with success. Story, what can you share with your colleagues? Okay, so one thing I've done this year, and it's helped my communication with families and helps parents feel more confident in supporting their child at home. So I've at the beginning of the year, I've noticed a lot of parents that want to be involved and want to help their students, I mean, their child um, get prepared for tests or quizzes. So many parents just don't know how to use the how to go in and find the content that we're teaching. So I have addressed this. I've started sending out weekly parent updates through Google Classroom. I've let parents join my Google Classroom and I'll have a short summary of what we're learning so they can ask their child, make conversation starters on what they're learning. Like if it's the American Revolution, they can ask their child about the causes of the American Revolution. Also, vocabulary videos, links to any videos I use or visuals. Parents have that access. So after a few weeks of doing this and showing parents, when they come to parent conference, I had a computer, showed them how to get on Google Classroom. One parent told me it was great, that they really enjoyed watching some of the videos with their child, because as a parent, you have to be involved. The teacher can go so far, but you have to help your child at home and get them prepared for formative or summative assessments. So, therefore, I think that that is helped me out, and I even shared with other teachers what I've done, and this has helped the communication out, because parents, a lot of parents do want to be involved, but they just don't really understand the technology part and where all the content and things are in that you're teaching. So, communicating is one of the tops. So I kept parents informed with consistent, clear, and encouraging updates, which builds trust and accountability and learning at home. I provide accessible tools and prompts that allowed parents to reinforce learning outside of school. Um, so it can definitely bridge the gap between school and home. And it does not require you to have a long phone call or extra meetings with the parents. It just helps the parents become involved, engaged. So because some of the students need that little extra push. Okay. All right. Number three, the question is direct leadership, share an example. We just had this happen. We just had a meeting where we had direct leadership from one of our principals. It was called Max Time. And during our school, we entered this period. It's you are coming in and you're maximizing your time as a teacher. We did not want any off-task behaviors, because our school had increase in referrals in our grade levels. So our principal made it clear in the meeting what he expected. There was non-negotiable. There was no input from teachers. There was no input from students, but the teachers were required instruction immediately after the bell, have visual learning targets posted, keep the students in the classroom for the whole class period. So one of the biggest challenges was the strict bathroom policy. Students were not allowed to leave, only on their bathroom breaks. So administrators were going down the hallway, making sure teachers were not sending students to the library. And even like at our meeting, our principal said, our focus is bell to bell instruction, no wasted time, no unnecessary movement. So teachers were given a checklist, walkthroughs. They were walking down the hallway, and it brought structure and discipline. So it was just for the students, they were ready to get off. So they were trying to be really, really quiet in the hallways. So because they were definitely wanting to get off of the max time. But he approached it as definitely a direct leadership meeting. So the benefits of the leadership approach helped ensure that every minute of class was used productively. Because the expectations were the same in every classroom down the hallway, students couldn't play one teacher against another teacher. So everything was consistent. There were fewer hallway passes. It was definitely a calmer environment and less off-task behavior. The principal and assistant principals were definitely in the hallways more. So those were the benefits. The cons or the challenges is some teachers felt like they were micromanaged, especially those who were already maintaining a strong classroom management plan. So it had limited flexibility. There were times when students genuinely, you knew, needed to go to the bathroom or to leave class, but it made it difficult to handle those special situations. So that was a challenge. A few staff members felt like the tone of the enforcement was a little bit too harsh. So you had also those concerns. But overall, I think it had clear benefits. It created order, consistency, and a stronger instructional outcome. So his direct leadership was not a problem, the meeting to me. Okay. Um, let's see. The next question is facilitative leadership. All right. We had a parent night like at the beginning of school, and it did not do very well. There was not many parents that attended. So we did have a meeting about different things that we needed to change. And our administrator come in there in that facilitative leadership style and address like different concerns. Parent involvement was one of the biggest ones. How to get these parents to these meetings, the parent night, and also classroom management. How to help these new teachers get this classroom management in middle school. So she at the start of the meeting she said. We're going to solve all our problems together. Let's work together to come up with different solutions. We had anchor charts. There were mixed groups of teachers. What classroom management strategies work for you in your classroom? How can we involve parents? We came up with giving kids extra credit for coming. So we had a big turnout on the next parent night, and I don't know if it was the extra credit, but it helped. So this facilitative leadership meeting helped us to communicate and think of better ways. And I think it just made all the teachers collaborate and work together and listen and take, take different things away from the meeting. So definitely a facilitative approach did help with the parent not. And I think it's helped with the classroom management because I think a lot of teachers took some things in that they could use in their classroom by having this meeting. And we also talked about attendance because that's a big thing at our school. Attendance is not a lot of kids miss a lot of days. So we all talked about different ways that we could reward students because students love rewards. So we all come together and I think we came up with ice cream. So they're going to give ice cream. And our cluster won the donuts. Like the whole cluster got donuts because our students were here that didn't miss as many days as the other clusters. So it was just a good facilitative leadership style meeting. And so the benefits were to, I feel like the teachers, they felt empowered, that they helped create a plan rather than being told what to do. I think it increased collaboration. It strengthened relationships among the teachers and created a sense of accountability. It highlighted that teachers already there's other teachers that know effective strategies and what is working in their classroom. And also think our parent engagement improved because of us talking about communication methods and how to get parents in. It was responsive and supportive, and it brought in more parents for parent night. So those were the benefits. Now, what would be the challenges and pitfalls? It did take the whole planning time. So a lot of teachers don't like their planning time to be cut for so long because we have a million things to do. So some teachers wanted quicker direction. Not every teacher applied what they heard in the meeting for classroom management. And then you had another, I would say, challenge is you have your outspoken um, teachers, your teachers that's been here longer. They're going to lead most of the conversations, while your newer teachers and your quieter teachers are going to contribute less. So, but the facilitative approach, definitely, I feel as a teacher, is better because it just builds that groups collective wisdom, and it just help I think it's just works best when you you open up with that we want your opinion and that direction, and I just think it brings progress to your school. Thank you.